hey, I have this really big thing, right? I have this big dream.
There's nothing I can do.
But it feels like there's nothing I can do, or the small things that I'm doing now feel so insignificant. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Maximalist. Once again, I'm JB. This is my wife.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Hey, so welcome to our dining room / living room. If you've stumbled upon this video, we're gonna do something a little different today. I want to brew some coffee for you guys. As you can tell, we are coffee addicts, and we just want to show some love and just make some coffee.
Why don't you show them what you're brewing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to our friends. Each Coffee. What's up, John? What's up, Gio? So this is absolutely.
It's delicious.
It's a banger, man. It's from Ethiopia. Mamokacha.
Yeah, it's called Mamokacha from Yirgacheffe. So usually, the Yirgacheffe coffee, you'd know what it would taste like. But this one's different, right? We've tried so many Yirgacheffe coffees that they all kind of taste the same, but this one's different. It suggests the flavors of peach, chamomile, and lemon iced tea.
So
it's spot on.
Alright, how awesome is that? So this is the coffee that we made. So it's gonna serve, again, welcome to our dining room / living room.
Usually we don't put ice, but my goodness, it's so hot today, so...
Yeah. Well, it's the middle of the summer, so, if you're here in Asia, you're just dying, man.
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, that's true.
So you may be asking, why did we decide to start the episode with JB brewing some coffee? Well, yeah. But yeah, one of our dreams, and actually one of the things that first really got us attracted to each other, at least for me, like one of the things when I first saw JB, I was like, oh my god, he's drinking black coffee. Like that was a big deal for me. I know it sounds stupid because most people here drink coffee with so much sugar and cream back then. Obviously now specialty coffee has gotten a much wider reach, but one of the things that I noticed about JB, I already liked him, but I saw him drink an iced Americano, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, he's drinking an iced Americano. And I was like, check. And then later on, I realized that he was also going to this coffee shop that I was starting to go to, which is a specialty coffee shop in BF. Used to be, it's called Magnum Opus Fine Coffees. I don't know if you've ever been. I can't tell you to go because they've closed since the pandemic, but they're gonna come back, so it's fine. Just go to Exchange Alley in Molito, and then that's where our coffee is from, actually. So you can still visit them in a different setting. So anyway, the reason why we wanted to brew coffee today to start the show is because one of our dreams is actually to start our own coffee shop.
Yeah.
But obviously, with the pandemic and all, and we've been talking about our situation financially and all these other things, it's hard to open a coffee shop. We can't at the moment.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to brew coffee is not to show you that, it's our dream and then leave it at that, but to show you that, we dream of opening it, but obviously not right now because we can't. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, we're doing what we can.
And have some cookies.
Yeah, which is to brew coffee, which is to practice the craft of making specialty coffee at home. Because obviously we can't serve you. We would love to, but we can't at the moment. So that's our topic for today. Our topic for today is doing what you can do now.
Yeah.
Do what you can do now. Right? Does that make sense?
Yep. Shout out to Notorious Streets. This is so good.
Shout out to me.
She makes them. It's so good. So you already know where to go, man. Instagram, Notorious Streets. I'm sorry. I'm just loving this right now. It's so good.
Yeah. So before we go on to our topic, I guess thank you to our sponsor, me. This is our new product. I guess it's a revamped version because we used to have a Big Papa, 100-gram cookie.
Love the way you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air and fuse it.
I feel like this episode is going south really early. But
B.I.G. fans. Come on, man.
But anyway, this is our new product. It's called Big Dark Chip. It's basically a revamped version of our Big Papa, made better, so much more chewier, crispy on the outside, a bit malty also, but it has no malt, and it uses 77% dark chocolate from our chocolate.
Shout out Aura.
Anyway,
That sounds like a paid advertisement, but
I know, but
it's from
anyway,
us, doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Can
Yeah.
you go back to what our topic is all about, just to remind everyone before we got derailed?
Do what you can do now.
Yeah.
Boom. How good is that? But you know, if you sorry, my hands are so disgusting right now. But anyway,
Just lick him.
if you haven't seen some of the episodes that we've had previously, you know, hopefully you can watch it after this. And we've been really talking about, you know, like living 100.
Living your dream life, living your greatest life.
Exactly. So there's always a big factor to that where you get to a point, you know, you think about it, you're like, all right, I want to dream big, man. But it's so big, I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
Or the other issue is, you know, and this can paralyze a lot of us, including us, obviously. That's what we're talking about. Is that, hey, I have this really big thing, right? I have this big dream.
There's nothing I can do.
But it feels like there's nothing I can do. Or the small things that I'm doing now feel so insignificant. Have you
Yeah.
ever felt that? It's like, what difference does it make? This is too small for us. So yeah, maybe we can give a few examples.
Yeah, like let's say an
Of
example would be like, I've read financial books when I was younger, when I started working, and you know how like, they would be like, okay, this is how much you can save per month to get to this amount. Like in 20 years, you'll get 5 million. And I was just like, in 20 years, I get 5 million. And I was just like, if I save so and so amount, and I'm like, that's too long.
Yeah.
And so what happens is like in relation to like dreaming big, because obviously a big amount of money versus what I can do now, it's almost like saving for 1 million. Like your goal is 1 million pesos, but the only thing you can save is 1 peso a month. Let's say, I know that sounds super impossible, but let's say 1 peso a month. And to most of us, that's paralyzing. To me, it's paralyzing and so discouraging that I'll be like, oh, I can only save 1 peso a month, but I hold on to my dream. And then 5 years down the line, I didn't save 1 peso because I was like,
It's too small.
yeah, it's too small. Like, I mean, come on. 1 peso, what dent will that make? Like, people drop 1 peso all the time and don't pick it up, I think.
That's true.
But, you know, and that's how we are with our dreams. You have these really, really big dreams. Maybe some of you are living in the Philippines and want to live in New York. Some of you want to be, I don't know, doctors, but you don't have the means to do so. Maybe you're 12 years old and you're like, my family doesn't even have enough to get me through school, barely.
Yeah.
So, you know, where do we start? How do we go from being this tiny little person dreaming so big? And, you know, don't mistake it as me saying that, oh, you're too small for your dreams. Never, I would never say that. You know, dream big. That's something that I am a huge proponent of.
Yeah.
But start small.
Yeah.
Start with what you can do. And if I were to borrow a reference, it's funny because we have a baby and a toddler, and our toddler was eating papaya earlier, and she was pointing like to a seed.
Destroying the papaya.
Yeah, she was pointing to a seed earlier that fell on the floor. And I was just looking at it and I was telling her that it's a seed, you don't eat it, because she kept calling it an edamame. And I'm like, that's not an edamame, it's a seed. But anyway, you know, just to give you that picture, you know, a seed is so small. A papaya seed is probably this small. But when you plant it and you water it, through time, it becomes a tree that bears a lot of papayas.
With a lot of seeds.
With a lot of seeds. So what I'm saying is, the seed doesn't think that, hey, I'm too small to grow into a papaya. It just plants itself. And we don't look at seeds like, I'm sure plantitos and plantitas everywhere. Everyone.
Shout out Lee.
Everyone, Pastor Heidi. Everyone has been planting, and you don't look at a seed and say, how is this gonna grow into a basil plant? Is it even a plant? An herb? Whatever.
I think it's an herb.
Yeah.
But close
It's
enough.
an herb plant, but whatever. Okay, obviously we're not plantitos and planties, but let's say
Sorry.
when we were younger, we plant like a tomato seed, whatever. You don't look at it and say, nah, oh, there's no way this is gonna grow into a tomato seed, a tomato plant, you know? But it does. We have faith that it does. So I'm just saying that whatever small thing you have faith that as you plant it, and as you water it, and as you take care of it, as you do what you can at this moment, that it's gonna grow. Like, you don't plant a seed now and expect to prune the leaves tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But you get there. So what I'm saying is, And this is for me because it's also a little bit of arrogance, I guess. Not I guess. I was arrogant. And it's almost like I dream this big and I'm gonna do something that small. What the heck, right? But don't be afraid to start small, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to stick to it, because the thing is, when you start saving 1 peso a day for that 1 million, it's not that you're gonna save 1 peso a day forever. You save 1 peso now, the next day it could be 2 pesos. The month after it could be 3 pesos. So you're not gonna be stuck.
Watch out for the table.
Oh, sorry. You're not. I'm sorry. If you've been hearing our videos and there's been sound of like this, it's me getting too passionate and just like hitting the table. So I'm sorry. I have to keep my hands to myself, or maybe like
I'm the table police.
Yeah, I've been telling him. But yeah, what was I saying?
Just the arrogance of why would I do something small?
Yeah, but
a big dream.
Exactly. The small things that you do now will compound, and you will get better. So think of it as starting small, and then you building the habit of doing it, and it growing. Does that make sense? Like when we're a kid, we start growing. We start with the letter A, and you keep writing, and you keep writing, and you keep writing, and you get to B, you get to C, you get to D, you get to E. Right? It compounds. It's not that you stop at your starting point.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is start now.
Yeah.
Do what you can now. And I can understand how paralyzing that is, because it's a pandemic. We don't have time. We don't have the resources. But surely there is one thing you can do now. And maybe right now, I don't know where you are, but think about that thing that you can do now. Think about your big, big, big dream.
Yeah.
And think about the smallest thing. I want you to don't even think about
visualize it. Sorry. Go for it.
I imagine the person talking about that, but we won't talk about him. Anyway, just think about your big dream, and then kind of like circle back. And what is the thing I can do now?
Yeah.
Seemingly so small, that can move me forward towards that dream.
Yeah.
And then start it tomorrow. Start it tonight.
Why not?
And keep doing it. Because one thing is if you don't start, how will you ever reach your destination? And sometimes that's a problem with us people of faith as well. There's a dream that God has given us, and it's almost like we wait for the stars to align. We wait for the dream to come before we start doing something. And to quote something, if you're a church person, you'd hear this all the time, which I hated it before. They always say preparation time is never wasted time. Yeah. And I'm always like, what the hell does that mean? But if you really think about it, because I'm very forward thinking. I'm always there already. Like I live in the future.
Yeah.
It's almost like, okay, whatever to my present, I'm in the future. Back then, now I'm fully in my present. But if you keep living in your future, always imagining that, 5 years from now I'm gonna do this, and you're totally detached from your current, you end up being in your present and still be in the same situation you were 5 years ago, because you never did anything about it. So what I'm saying is start now.
Yeah.
Do the small things that you think could propel you, sort of, or at least move you towards the future that you want.
Any form of movement.
Yeah. Any form of movement. Just start inching towards it, because it builds momentum.
Yeah.
The more you do it, you improve your skill. Maybe you want to be a writer. Start writing, 2 sentences a day. Before you know it, you might be writing a book. I don't know, just try to start now. And
yeah, I think it's quite interesting what you just said there. People are so not daunted. It's almost like
paralyzed,
because it's like, what difference does it make doing something small?
It's like a drop in the ocean, right?
Yeah, but just like, what you just said then, it really...
Man, sorry, these cookies are really good, and I'm not just saying that because I make them.
Yeah, I'm almost done with mine, and we're not even done with what we had, have to talk about. But anyway, yeah, so I think a lot of people, it's sort of like they just kind of brush it to the side, or it's almost like they don't even take it seriously, because it's like, it's just this, man. How can this
lead?
How can this snowball to this? But you just have to commit to the process. And also here's another thing that I just kind of noticed. Also, there's other people, including myself, who I'm quite guilty of this. And maybe you're one of these people. You want to do such a big gesture to jumpstart whatever dream
Mm-hmm.
or whatever goal that you have.
Yeah.
And what happens is as you keep looking for these big gestures, somewhere along the line,
Oh my God.
you can't. It's either you can't keep up or you can't maintain it.
Or you burn out.
Or you burn out because you keep looking for these. Oh, it's like I have to have this like big momentous, sort of like big moment. Oh, hey, I'm gonna do this. Let me give you an example. And I'm very guilty of this.
Working out?
Working out, yeah. It's always like I've been sort of like in and out over the years with working
He's
out.
been macho, he's been payat, he's
Yeah,
been
so
a little
like a lot of
chubby.
it is obviously laziness and just loving to eat. But also in between, I got injured a few times and that just kind of discouraged me. And every time I want to go back to working out or even some of the things that I actually want to do in life, I always feel the need to do it, not big, but like this big gesture.
Guns blazing.
Yeah, so what happens is, let's say I start a workout again. On that first week, I kill myself.
Yeah.
And then what happens is I actually end up re-injuring myself or maybe like...
Or overexerting, yeah.
Overexerting that I can't keep up and I can't maintain it.
Or he'll be lazy in the next few days because it's like,
oh,
it's
I'm
too
hurting.
much, yeah.
So don't fall into that trap also.
Yeah, and I'm actually usually like JB, like I'm all in, like, oh, it's either work out for an hour and 30 minutes or I don't work out at all.
Yeah.
But recently I've been doing workouts that I wouldn't even think I would have done back then. Like sometimes it's like 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes.
It kills you, my gosh. I tried it with her. I died. 10 minutes.
It kills me, but also it's not as hard as what I used to do, but I'm doing it consistently. I've been doing it every day for the past 2 weeks, except for the last 3 days because just so you know, I had a C-section and my scar was kind of hurting and I was like, okay, maybe it's time to rest. But
Just to be careful, yeah.
what I'm saying is, it's small steps. It's not like JB's rah rah rah, you know, and it's not like I'm usually the rah 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 type, but it's things that you can squeeze into your day and you can actually do. And I've seen the effect. Like I gave birth 7 months ago and I was starting to get like, you know,
she got that lines on the side, man.
I'm still fat.
The pre-abs abs.
but yeah, I've seen results and I was so surprised. And you know, what I always tell JB is like, if you do something, let's say for 30 minutes a day, let's say 30 days in a whole year, compare that to doing something 5 minutes a day every single day for the whole year. Add it all up, the 5 minutes a day is still greater than the 30 minutes of rah-rah for 30 days,
and then
right?
you burn out, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, start small, maybe get into the rhythm of being consistent, and then slowly add things. Just really make it manageable for you.
Yeah.
And if you can do more, why not? But what I'm after is that you can do small or you can do a bit more, but be consistent. Because consistency matters. And this is coming from someone who struggled with consistency, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, because I love doing so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I found value in consistency recently. This sounds so stupid, right? Like, I'm old and I'm just like, you're only realizing that now and you're probably like a 15-year-old like, who are these fools? But we're just being honest. Because we love doing new things, but there is so much power in the consistent effort of the day-to-day, even if it's small.
Yeah. I'll give you another example, right? And a lot of people do this, you know, and
What is this?
not just me. Going back to workout, you know, you put like this dream, like for example me, I wanna be like The Rock, you know. So I'm gonna pick up, which is really stupid because number one, he's Samoan and I'm me. You know,
But he's also bald.
I don't think I'll ever get there, you know. Plus, you know, bald men, you know, we got it. No, I'm just kidding. But why do we do that? Like even for me, it's like, oh hey, I want to look like this, you know, or I want to do this, and then you get like the heaviest set, and you're not even, you know, predisposed to that. You're not even like prepared for that.
Yeah.
You have to like work towards that. You know, you start with the 15, then you go into 20, you go into 50. But some people just want to go straight
50?
I tried 50 before a few years
What
ago.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, so, and then I got injured. But yeah, so don't do that, you know, like, so.
Yeah, funny story.
Yeah, go ahead.
I started with kettlebells at 4 kilograms and I was dying. I couldn't even lift it above my head.
Yeah,
That's
same.
how bad it was. So start small.
Yeah. And I think going to what we're going to talk about now is just embracing the process. Just like what Chris said, consistency can really make you last in that process. You know, the consistency, the endurance, the perseverance. When you put in the time and the discipline, the process actually works for you, if that makes sense. Instead of you having to like grind it out. It's like, oh, when is it gonna come? When is it gonna, when am I gonna get that, maybe big payday or that big recognition, that big achievement? When you put in the discipline and the achievement, not the achievement, sorry, the consistency,
Yeah.
the achievement actually just becomes like, it's sort of like, you still love it, but
it's not the
like the main focus
thing, yeah.
anymore. There's people that we've met, like like instructors and fitness trainers and entrepreneurs who somewhere along the line of their pursuit started actually loving the journey itself, because they saw themselves growing, they saw themselves maturing, they saw themselves maybe in a different light, like being able to learn different things that they never thought they could learn before, and that actually boosts them to keep learning, to keep grinding. So what am I saying here is that actually in the middle of that process, in that consistency, you might surprise yourself into maybe learning, hey, I'm actually good at this, or like maybe having surprises with like, hey, I'm starting to have this connection. This is awesome. Like, the achievement is awesome, but this is actually pretty cool too. Like I found a community, or I found, this whole family here, stuff like that. So there's something about consistency that actually makes every day fulfilling during the process.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that. Like even with parenthood, obviously like we want to get to a point where
What is it? Is it parenthood or parenting? Same.
Parenthood. You can correct us. But at least for me, sometimes, I think too far in the future. Oh, I can't wait till they can be independent and they don't have to ask us to carry us, blah, 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 every 3 seconds.
Stop carrying them.
But then I think about it now, it's like, just the consistency of that, this is not going to last forever, like, just enjoy it. And just the consistency of us parents being there for them in this really pivotal time of, baby and toddlerhood. Toddles. It's not always going to be like this. And the consistency of this actually puts the joy in the process. Obviously sometimes you're going to be tired, they would wake up randomly, but it's not always going to be like this. So I think even in your pursuit, as you keep going, you might find things that are actually quite enjoyable as you do the process. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just a little extra that I kind of felt like adding, So we have to be willing to start small, right?
Yeah, willing to start small, but always dream big.
Yeah.
Never let the smallness of what you do now take away from the bigness, if that's even a word, of your dream. Never let what you're doing now take away how big you see yourself in the future. And it's no secret that we've been through hard times. And I remember telling JB, this analogy, which I've been telling people, but I don't think I've ever said it in the Maximalist, is I always say, in order to build high, you have to dig deep. And my example, I hate you. I was gonna say that. He's so annoying. But anyway, this is how we are. He always steals everything. If you go to our church and sometimes he would preach to the young people, none of that is his. It's all my wisdom. But anyway, shh. Oh my God, you're totally like my family now, like cutting me and Anyway, my biggest example is the Empire State. If you compare it to like, let's say a brownstone building, that's kind of not as noticed as the Empire State. Let's say a 2-story building in New York. I don't know if there is. Maybe the townhouses, or 3 stories, 5 stories, whatever. And you compare it to the Empire State, and let's say they were built around the same time. You look at the Empire State, and maybe, they're both digging foundations, right? And maybe the Empire State construction site, they're still digging, and then the other 5-story house
almost done.
It's already like, they're already putting the bricks, they're already laying it out, they're already putting the frame, and then they're almost done. And then you see the Empire State and they're still digging, and you're like, what the hell? Why are they still digging? What's taking forever?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, if we dream big, the process sometimes takes longer.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, because they needed a deep foundation in order for the Empire State to stand. No one visits New York to visit like some random 5-story house, right? But everyone goes to visit the Empire State, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like, oh, hipster, and like I don't want to go there, but whatever. But we've been there. But anyway, no one goes to a random 5-story building because it's ordinary. And if you want to dream big, it takes process and it takes a long time. And some of your friends, some of the people around you may seem like they're already past the building foundation. Certainly feels that way for us. Like sometimes it feels like, why are we so behind? But then, it's good to be reminded that we're digging deep because you need good foundation to build high. You can't have the foundation of a 5-story building in the Empire State. It'll just fall down. And going back to like what Jamie said before in our previous episode, that you don't want to get to the height of the Empire State and find that you're wobbly at the bottom, right? So what I'm saying is, it may not look glamorous at the start. It may not seem like it's the best circumstance. And you may look around you and you're like, how come they're starting to build on the ground level now? How come they're not digging like I am? How come they're not covered in dirt? Well, just see it as you're building high. And it's nothing against the people who are already building their lives. That may be what they want. Never what do you call this? Never hate on someone else's dream. That's what they want, but
just focus on yours.
Yeah, but if this is what you want, I'm just saying, if you are dreaming big, it takes time.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of dirt, and it takes a lot of digging. But the reward is so much bigger, Dream big and start small. No one ever built the Empire State thinking that, okay, I'm going to put the top thing agad. They started with the foundation. They started digging.
Yeah.
So maybe we should. So if you were to have like just a thing to remember from that is dig deep and build high.
Yeah. Boom. I wonder who actually said that first. Maybe it was really you.
It's me.
But I think other people are starting to like take ownership of it. So we have to trademark it. We're gonna challenge these people. No, just kidding. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So
we're just filling out random quotes now. I'm kidding.
I know, but if
my last cookie bite.
I know. I've already finished mine. It was so good.
It had dulce de leche.
I expected high and ate fast. Yeah. So maybe another layer to this is and I think I've talked about this before, is in the pursuit of that big dream, in the pursuit of your greatest possible life, right? Just like what Chris said, you gotta dig deep to build high. Think of it this way too, is something internal.
Internal?
I was gonna say internally.
I was like, inferno? What?
But something internal within you, right? Is sometimes it takes longer for certain things to stick, if that makes sense. Like some of the big things that you want to get to or you are being prepared for, there's a level of maturity and character that
we've talked about this.
That is required. It's just the nature of it, and it's not about like being I have to like be this awesome person to get to this level. I mean, you can be the crappiest person and still get there, but will you be able to maintain it? Will you be able to sustain it? So why not be the type of person who, from the get-go, as you choose to do small, also work internally to work on your character with little things, maybe little habits that work for you, that make you better, that I guess this is sort of like the self-improvement part of the whole journey, is that never forget the internal things also. Like external things and the things that are tangible, things you want to see. Those are actually amazing, obviously, because those are the dreams that you want to happen and fulfill.
Yeah.
But I think internally it's also quite important to maintain that consistency, because what happens is it makes you stronger, it makes you more mature, if that makes sense.
Maturer.
And actually it gives you a better potential to even go beyond the big dream that you had.
Yeah.
What if in the middle of that process you grow so much and you embrace the process so much that when you actually start achieving, the first thing that you had in mind in the beginning was actually just a warm-up.
What if it's just the entry point, right?
Yeah, what if your character was so awesome that you can actually go higher? What if your foundation is actually so deep they can even go higher than the Empire State, higher than, what's the highest building?
Burj Khalifa.
The Burj Khalifa, right? So maybe that's something that you can just sort of...
Burj Khalifa! That's so stupid. But
Too much hip hop in the home. But anyway, so yeah, maybe just keep that in mind. Something
Yeah,
that you
and
can sort of embrace. Yeah, go for
and
it.
just adding to character and internal things. You don't wanna. It's important to really take care of your inside because we always talked about it. We talked about it in the previous episodes. Who you are becoming is so much more important than what you are doing because who you become is the foundation of what you're doing. You don't wanna reach a certain level and lose yourself in the process. Right?
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. Like I can only imagine if I try to really really work hard at my dreams and forget about the kids, forget about JB, and I lose what's important to me. What's the point? Which reminded me of a story. When we started Notorious, it was in a small studio, like a 30 square meter where we all
Really
lived together.
small.
Like we had Savvy, she was about 3 months. And then I remember thinking it was 9 p.m. I had I don't know, a ton of orders. And I was just thinking, oh my God, just go to sleep. Like I had a quick thought like that. And then I had to catch myself and think, hey, why are you working hard? Why are you making these cookies? Because I was saying, oh my God, I hope she sleeps now so I can just start working on my cookies and get to sleep myself. Because I would sleep at 3 a.m. But then I had to catch myself. Why am I working hard? Why am I selling these cookies? It's for her. And if in the process of trying to make money for her, I lose the relationship with her, what's the point?
Yeah.
So maybe this is a reminder for all you hard workers out there to just not forget, and maybe some of the parents, maybe some of the young ones that maybe you're a breadwinner and you're doing it for your family, maybe you're a father and you're doing it for your kids.
Yeah.
Never forget that the reason why you're making money is for these people. And if you destroy the relationship for the sake of money, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right? So never lose yourself. Never forfeit the relationships that you have for the dream that you have.
Yeah.
Even if it needs to take a bit more time.
Yeah.
There's this African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with other people.
Boom.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to go fast and be alone? Or do you want to go far and be surrounded by people who love you, people who care about you?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but for me, I would want to go far with the people I love. Because what's the point of going fast if I'm alone?
Yeah. And the world needs you. If you absolutely embrace the whole, I guess, the fullness
Of
who you are and what it really entails to dream big, to live 100, to be 100. I absolutely believe it's one of those things that you can really have that significant impact in the world,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly believe people are actually waiting on people like us, hopefully, to just really embrace
Who they are.
yourself, embrace the process, just commit to the
Mm-hmm.
little things, allow it to grow
Yeah.
on, grow on your craft, however small it is. Have people around you that'll support you and
And support other people as well.
also, yeah, don't be a hater, man. Like even for me, I have to catch myself. Like comparison is such a killer, man. Like sometimes, why do we hate on people who are doing well or just hustling?
Or why do we want to feel the need to brag
Just
about, we're
bring
doing
them
this
down.
and they
Yeah.
suck, right?
Or bringing people down, just leave them alone, man.
Yeah,
Just-
other people's success doesn't deter you from being successful yourself.
If anything, that should encourage you to be like, hey, if they can do it,
I can do it too.
I'm gonna focus on
Yeah.
my side of the lane, and I'm just gonna run hard, So yeah, I think to end this.
Wait, we're not ending
Oh, sorry,
yet.
not end yet. Then maybe you can do a summary.
No, but just to not summarize, but just going back to what JB said about the world needs you. It's not we're not here for motivational crap, We're gonna be as real and as raw as we are on a daily basis in this channel. And when we say the world needs you, it's not like, oh, I'm Tony Robbins and I'm a life coach trying to encourage you with this voice, but but we believe it. It may not be you may not have super big dreams that will change the entire world, but maybe it can change your community. Maybe it can change your family, change the trajectory of your family. Maybe you're the first person to graduate from college. Maybe you're the first person to become a doctor in your family. Maybe you're the first person to start a business. I don't know, but regardless of how big your greatest possible life is, regardless of how big living 100 looks like to you, there are people who need you.
Yeah.
Whether you're a 5-story building or an Empire State, people need you.
Yeah.
And if anything, not just for yourself, but really pursue your greatest self for others. Because what's the point of life if it's just lived for us, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and one more thing, something practical. Don't wait for the perfect circumstance to begin.
Perfect example is us right
The
now.
small things. Perfect example is us. We waited too long, man. This was 6 years in the making.
But we're starting now.
Well, we're starting now, so we're doing what we can. But let us save you some trouble. There will never be a perfect scenario. There will never come a perfect situation where where all of the parameters are, oh hey, this, and this. Okay, so now I can begin.
Yeah.
Life just doesn't.
And more
go
importantly,
yeah.
You'll never feel like the perfect person to start.
That's another thing.
Just start it.
Just start it,
And we would love to know what things you're thinking of starting. I don't know, maybe a business.
Yeah.
Like I've actually talked to someone who wants to start a business.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for reaching out, by the way, for some of the people.
In the middle of this pandemic, and they're like, how can I start a business when other people tell me it's safer to stay in my 9-to-5 job? Well, sometimes, what is safe?
Yeah.
What is safe, really? I've heard people get sacked from their 9-to-5 jobs, and inflation is at a 4.5%.
So is it really that safe?
This year, nothing is safe. I mean, if you think about it, purchasing power, you stay in a 9-to-5, earn, let's say, 25,000 a month.
Inflation kills you.
Yeah. Next year, a few years later, your money's worth what? Less. So, my thing is,
do what you can.
Do what you can and go for it. At the end of the day, you may fail big, but it's better than not trying. It's better than, getting to your 90s if you live that long, and thinking, I wish I could have done that. That's something, like I'm almost getting super emotional talking about this, but I don't know why. It's the heat. I don't know.
It is the heat.
But but I don't ever want to reach a point where I'm older and say to myself, I wish I would have done that. I'd rather be like, oh, I did that, kind of made a mistake, but refined it, but at least I tried.
Yeah.
There's no shame in failing, but there is regret in not trying.
In not trying at all, yeah. One of my favorite rappers in the world.
I'm like, who is this?
Well, Kanye West. He had one line. He was like, "For me, giving up is way harder than trying." So, I'm gonna take that on.
Back when he wasn't crazy.
That's pretty cool. He still got it, man. He still got it, bro. I believe in you. But hey, maybe we can do that. Like, just open it up. So now we open it up to you guys. What can you do now?
What small steps can you take?
Yeah, we would absolutely love to hear that, right? And if there's anything that we can do to maybe help or like jumpstart or maybe just be the catalyst for you to like, even if it's just us trying to like encourage you every day, I don't care. That'll be super worth it for us. So maybe how do they reach us again? Instagram?
Comment down below, reach us on Instagram, the.maximalist.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll share it now. We're gonna open up a challenge, maybe a 100-day challenge. I don't know, we'll see if 100 days are too long, but we're gonna open up a challenge of like doing what you can now and doing something every day, maybe for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You choose. So watch out for it, maybe this week, next week. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm thinking this week. Because what we want to do in the coming weeks is to invite people that we know. Hopefully they say yes. We haven't asked them yet, but to invite people that we know from different industries to just talk about how can we start now. Let's say with finances, how do we start now in the middle of a pandemic? Working out, how do we start now? With eating well, how do we start now? And maybe that's something you can comment down below. What industry do you want to know how to start with? Now, like doing what you can now. Maybe like, I don't know, starting a small business, saving up for retirement.
We'll try to get people for you. Maybe we can talk to them, just try to record the conversation. If there's anything we can do to help. Or
maybe it can be like, how do I start saving up for my trip to Africa? please ask about Africa because I want to talk about Africa. But
Yeah, we can hook you up, man. So yeah, please. So this is your turn now. The ball's on your court. You know, we will obviously do the best we can, given those feedback that you give us. So please, don't be shy. Don't hesitate. Let us know what you want to maybe learn, so that we can do this challenge together. You know, I know it's only like what, second quarter of the year.
Yeah.
I think a lot can change in 100 days. You know, that's like what, a quarter, 3 months, and 10
A day.
and yeah,
in 10 days.
and 10 days. So don't minimize what that can do for you. Maybe that can actually
Nudge you.
set you up or nudge you, give you momentum into the habits that you've always wanted to do. So yeah, let's do it, everybody. You know, just put it down on the comments. You know, message us on Instagram.
Yeah, we're so excited to see what you guys want
Yeah.
to do. So
And-
please share
yeah.
with us.
And even for us, you know, we're gonna stay transparent with some of the things that we will do.
Yeah, we want to do the challenge with you guys.
Yeah.
So
So it's not just you guys. We're gonna do this as well. You know, we're gonna put ourselves on the
yeah, and
The
just
plate.
just want to encourage the younger ones who live with their parents and maybe work from home who don't have kids. If
Yeah.
we can do it, you guys can do it. We have 2 kids that take up
the
basically.
whole day.
Yeah, this is our only free time. Our free time is like from 8 p.m. to like
After
10,
dinner, yeah.
and then we sleep, or like 8 p.m. to like 1 a.m. we talk, and then
They
we
wake up
kind of
again.
sleep.
Yeah,
But
it just rolls in again the next
let's
day.
all do it. Do what you can. You know, that's why I do 10-minute workouts because that's all I can do. But guys, from a 32-year-old to whatever year old you are,
Yep.
do what you can. You know,
We're the
it's
same
start
age right
now. Cool.
Sorry, just super random. We're the same age until in a few weeks, or I get older again. But anyway, so yeah, do what you can now, and yeah, I guess
That's it.
that's how we end. So we're gonna be waiting. We're gonna be excited with your
Cheers.
responses.
Almost done, but yeah.
So
And
Yeah.
Notorious Streets, you know what to do. Bye, everyone.
advance Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Thanks.
Yeah. So have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you soon. Much love. Live 100, everybody.
Send us a message.
Peace.